Okay, in this video, I'm going to be sharing my top 3 winning ad structures for low ticket funnels. Strike to high ticket if you're running webinars. Works for every single type of ads, right? You could also use this for video ad scripts. Now, with ads, before I get into the scripts, with ads, what happens is that people have two problems, right? They either make really curiosity-based ads or they make really intent-based ads, right? With curiosity-based ads, what happens is that they don't give enough information, right? They say, okay, here's how I'm doing this. If you want to learn more, click this link, right? What happens is that people are extremely curious. They don't know what you're offering. They don't know what the mechanism behind what you're offering is, right? So you get a lot of clicks and you get the clicks for cheap, but they don't convert, right? Your cost per click is going to be really cheap. But if you look at the opt-in or if you look at the conversion in your page, is going to be really low because there's no intent. Another thing people do is have really intent-based ads. What that does is, they give too much information. Now that is good for really high conversion rates on the opt-in page, on the landing page, but really bad for the cost per click on the ads, right? Your cost per click is going to be really high and you're going to be getting less clicks. So what you want to do is have a balance of curiosity and have a balance of intent. And this is what I'm going to share with you in this video. My top 3 winning ad structures and the templates behind them, the examples that, build curiosity and build intent and has the perfect balance of both of them. So let's get into it. Ad number 1 we have, here's how I'm able to get XYZ outcome and how you can do. So here's how I'm able to turn 1 to 5% market moves into 100 and 500% gains every single day and how you can too, right? Rewind XYZ years ago, I was just like target market. So rewind a few years ago, in this video, I'm gonna say most crypto traders were stuck in this frustrating cycle, right? And you list all the things your market faces, right? Watching their investments grow so slowly, settling for modest gains, worrying about market volatility, identifying good projects and tokens, and blah blah blah. All the bad things that are happening in the market, or all the things that your target market is achieving, right? You just want to state those, right? Maximum have 4 to 5 bullets, and minimum three bullets, right? And you explain the problem even further, right? Doing everything to grow my business, but it didn't work. So that's when I decided to take matters in my own hands. What if instead of doing what doesn't work, I did something counterintuitive, right? So what if instead of waiting months or years for significant gains, what if I could exploit tiny movements that happen every single day in the market for massive profits? Sounds crazy, but it works. For example, let's look at this XRP trade. Then you say the trades, right? I entered XRP at XYZ and exited at 87 cents, right? The market moved 49%, which is a solid get on its own, but I used 25x leverage and turned the $5,000 XRP into $60,000 profit. So you give an example of it, right? You give a macro explanation of it, right? So while you are waiting for the market to move significantly for you to make money, I'm getting money every single day from the market by small market movements that happen every single day. So while everyone is waiting and holding their coin, hoping for the bull run, we're turning 1 to 5% market moves into 100 and 500% gains. And the best part, you can do this too. And you just insert how easy or simple or not a lot of time is being involved, right? Your main unique selling proposition for that market, which means that you add another benefit, right? Which means that you can start building serious wealth in crypto without waiting years or risking your life savings. This is the counterintuitive approach I've used to achieve financial freedom through the crypto market, all by using a method that works inside of its market and doesn't require constant monitoring. You want to learn how it's done, click below to learn the XYZ method, right? Pretty simple. Here is the whole entire template behind it if you guys want to use it. Let's get into the ad number 2. What if you could, right? So with these ads, what if you could do one simple thing and get one outcome without doing XYZ, right? So what if you could turn tiny market movements into massive profits without waiting for the next bull run or without waiting for the market to move significantly? Instead of doing the usual methods like, and we're doing the same thing as ad number 1, right? Stating all the things your market faces, stating all the things your ICP faces, or just, saying whatever doesn't work in the market, right? Again, max 5, minimum 3, right? The only thing I have to do is explain your unique mechanism, right? Only thing I have to do is use strategic leverage on small, predictable price movements that happen every single day. But it wasn't always like this though, right? You explained the story behind it. Just a few years ago, I was a typical investor who was struggling to consistently grow his portfolio. I was doing XYZ and blah 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 blah. So I decided to do something different, and that's when I discovered my unique mechanism, and everything changed. Here's how it works, and you explain in 3 steps, right? How it works in three bullet points of how it works, and the result you get a case study, and best of all, you handle an objection. I laid it all out in my XYZ solution, explain the solution, and click below to access it. Pretty simple. Here's a template behind it as well, and it's pretty simple. Now, our third template, right? Why would anyone just do something everyone does? So why would everyone do? Why would anyone do something everyone accepts as norm, right? So in the crypto market, and most people like to hodl. Hodling is basically holding on for dear life, holding a crypto coin, buying it, and then holding for it, right, for like 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, just holding the coin. So I'm making a really disruptive statement, right? It's getting their attention. The first line of the static, right? They look at, why would anyone just hodl, right? Holding on to crypto for months or even years, watching the market and waiting for the next big spike or the best bull run to finally pay off. I'm basically explaining their current situation and saying that what they do over here, right? Instantly gets their attention. Instantly says, "Oh, he's talking about me," and gets their attention, right? Makes them curious and interested, and that's assuming, saying that, okay, you only get this when you get all of this, right, right. So, and that's assuming you've picked the perfect coins, you have the perfect strategies, you have prepared for volatility, and you can watch those dips without selling. And not only that, but the profits you're hoping for are far from guaranteed. So I'm framing this whole, hodling as, like something really hard, something not, that's something that's not the ideal way of making money, with crypto. And then I have the stat, right? The truth is that 93% of hodlers end up doing just that, stuck waiting, hoping, and that one day the market finally goes their way. So it's kind of a stat, having proof behind what I just said. And let me be the first one to tell you, right? There's a better way. So we're transitioning a way that doesn't rely you to for markets to surge and crossing your finger through every dip, right? And okay, I repeated that. Let me delete that. A way that doesn't rely on hoping for market surges or crossing your finger through every dip. And I explained my unique mechanism. I introduced it, right? The crypto wormhole, the 3 step decade-old strategy. So the 3 step makes it sound really simple, and decade-old strategy, kind of as authority. That is something that has worked for over a decade. Here's how it works, right? On average, crypto prices fluctuate 5 to 10% every single day. That was during the bull market. Right now it's kind of really dead, or going down. We exploit these small movements and use control, time, and leverage. This ensures that we make precise entries and exits based on market cycles, use leverage to amplify the gains, and have good control with tight stop losses. So while everyone is waiting years for the market to play in their favor, we profit from these small changes that occur hundreds of times every day and make profit off of it. That typically takes years, right? So over here, what I'm doing is having just house hook, that's challenging their current ways of doing things, or the way they're mostly taught to do this, right? Have a stat, right, that kind of says, okay, if you do this right, 93% of people who do this end up like this, right? And they definitely don't want to be doing all of this, right? And then I switched to, okay, let me be the first one to tell you there's a better way. Switching to that, and then simply explaining my strategy as simple as possible. And this thing, I've laid it all in a book, right? You have to make sure to tell them that it's a book, it's a product, right? So they know that there's something to be bought, or something to be purchased, or something to be opted in for, right? You don't want to just send them off to something and, them being like freebies, right? You have to get high intent buyers. I laid it all in a 50-page book that you can learn how to do this step by step for yourself. Click below to start performing. Now, behind the scenes, here's a template for this as well. Why would anyone do something that everyone accepts as normal? Blah, 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 blah. And, I've gone over this. So if you guys want to go over this, use this template. Here's this, screenshot it. And yeah, these are my top two templates. For the creatives, for the statics, what I usually do is just have a picture of the trades and have like a big headline that is your like kind of the outcome. Here's how I'm able to do XYZ, and then say have an arrow, say read captions, or like some lifestyle based creatives. These also worked. I got this from Alan Sulnick's group, Nothing Held Back. The old way, new way. The old way is you do this and you do this, and it's really long and it's really hard. And the new way, this is your like the name of your low secret product, name of your methodology. This is your unique mechanism, right? And it's really like simple, like way smaller steps and way easier. So this also works. The problem with this method is that CPM on this is really high, right? So I don't usually run this. I do this to like just at the start of when I launch an offer, just to see like if it'll work or not. But to scale, I use this type of creative. But yeah, these are my top three winning ad structures that you guys can copy, swipe right away, and launch it. Let me know how it works. And yeah, this is it for me. And let me know if you guys want any other videos related to this. And yeah, that's it.